Hi everyone, this is Devshri, a psychologist, coach, and India's top UPSC CSE educator. Today in this video, I will be discussing with you few most relevant psychological hacks to boost your CSE preparation. Most of the times, CSE aspirants find themselves in a confused state and difficult situations due to lack of clarity, focus, motivation, and emotional dysregulation. All of this severely affects their confidence and their preparation. Therefore, there's a strong need to understand different ways or effective strategies which can help you and your fellow aspirants in maintaining emotional stability, high intrinsic motivation, developing the ability to stay focused, be more productive, to take your UPSC preparation at an entirely different level. Practicing these strategies will surely help you unlock your potential to maximize your outputs and results and achieve your goal of a desirable rank in this exam. Let's discuss the easiest and most effective psychological hacks to boost your UPSC CSA preparation. Number one, you should be engaging in activities that boost positive thinking and positive emotions. For example, building and engaging in certain hobbies will be one of the finest ideas to do so. These can be any activities that you really enjoy engaging in. For example, drawing, creating music, dancing, photography, reading books, or reading anything of your choice, articles, listening to podcasts these days, watching videos, creating something of your own will actually give you more joy and pleasure than just binge watching. So ensure that you are engaging in good hobbies and activities. Now, building a hobby or engaging in these activities also will have a lot of benefits for you. For example, it makes you feel relaxed. It gives you a sense of satisfaction. The improvement you make in these activities will also help you in creating a positive influence on yourself and your mindset. People who usually engage in a guilt free me time or have a hobby are found to be happier and stable in their personal and professional lives. Therefore, it is a great way to rejuvenate your mind and your emotions. This helps you and this helps you in staying focused and also concentrate most on the task. This is going to ensure that your efficacy in your performance enhances. Let's move on to the second strategy, which is making a planner with a detailed timetable and schedule. What happens when you make a detailed timetable and a planner? It changes the game completely. Herein, I would like to emphasize on the fact that when you're preparing for exams like CSA, you really have to give it your best. It is not just in terms of remembering things, retaining things, or delivering on these content or points, but it also requires you to be more organized, more systematic in your approach, and thus having a planner, a proper detailed timetable, a schedule for day-to-day basis is going to be one of the most efficient and the most effective ways for you to ensure that you are actually maximizing your chances of qualifying in this exam. It is extremely important to understand that when exactly you are going to write your exam, plan it wisely, make a complete planner for the time period, have monthly and your weekly planners as well based on what suits you. Let me help you understand this in much more depth. When you are making a planner or a detailed timetable or a schedule, it is going to help you in remaining or being more positive and very productive. Because productivity is one of the most important aspects when it comes to preparing for competitive exams like UPSC, CAC. It is very important that you know how you can enhance your productivity or what are the ways in which you can maximize your productivity. Having a positive mind is simply going to facilitate your ability to stay calm, to stay focused, and very efficient. Ultimately, this brings high efficacy in terms of managing and regulating your emotions. As you are able to manage your emotions better, there will be lesser impact on your time or your time management abilities. Lesser the negative impact, better are the chances that you will be able to manage your time really well. This ultimately is going to enhance your efficiency and will make you highly productive. You will also have to ensure that when you are preparing for CSA, you dedicate some time for effective planning. Just planning is of no use. Planning wherein you are not able to deliver or achieve your goals is of no use. Planning which is completely idealistic is of no use. What is most important here is that you plan and you plan realistically. You plan in a way that you do not become a victim of planning fallacy. Planning fallacy basically is high tendency for all human beings to plan in an idealistic manner and set up most idealistic goals in a very limited period of time, which we will not be able to achieve. Because when we are in the planning phase, we tend to override the real life situations when we might have certain emergency situations, certain health concerns, or the normal ability to understand that a particular goal or a task might take little extra time. We tend to be over enthusiastic and we want to achieve more and more in that given time period. Thus, we tend to ignore all these important factors in planning the most idealistic manner. Planning fallacy is not a good thing. Of course, you should be able to understand from the term fallacy itself that it is just going to put you in a very bad loop wherein you would like to set up your to-do list but you're not able to achieve all of it, and when you're not able to achieve it, rather than motivating you, it is going to demotivate you, and that is what happens with most of the students. Please understand, few students are able to rationalize how they are making their list, and they are completely able to adapt and adjust that list in accordance to their timetable or the real life situations. But many students tend to take it extremely negatively and they are not able to move beyond that, which hampers their practice, which hampers their schedule, wherein they are not able to study, they are not able to do their mock tests on time, and they all of this is also going to have severe impact on your emotions and also on your memory. So to understand this particular part, that you will have to dedicate some time for very effective planning, and then you will have to create a detailed timetable or a schedule. You should have an overall prep planner. For example, if you are writing exam in 2024, so you should have an overall prep planner, that how exactly and how much of it are you going to cover in, let's say, this 1 year. So from this time, February to your next year attempt, 2024 attempt, have a proper timeline. At least a rough estimate will be very helpful. Then divide it in a monthly planner. Beyond that, you can choose whether you want to work with weekly or you want to work with daily planners. Whatsoever is of high interest to you, or you prioritize or you prefer, please go ahead with that. Many people want a day to day list, and many people are completely fine with having a weekly schedule. So, you choose what works for you, design it accordingly, and then start working on it or basically executing it. This you should be able to adjust according to your preferences, and of course you should also be keeping in mind that what are your most productive hours when it comes to setting up a planner or creating a timetable. You will also have to make dedicated efforts to follow this schedule, and this will definitely ensure your productivity. Do not forget that productivity is extremely important when you're preparing for exams like these. Let's move on to the next strategy. Following a routine or being disciplined is extremely beneficial. Beneficial for you personally, beneficial for students who are also working in their professional lives, it will be very helpful, and it is also going to be beneficial for you specifically in the context of this exam. Discipline is one of the most important aspects of this preparation. Discipline does not mean that you have to wake up early morning and you have to sleep at 8 or 9. Discipline simply means setting up a schedule and being extremely consistent with your schedule, following it diligently and ensuring that you are able to deliver on what you are setting up for yourself. Which means if you have set up 5 goals and you plan, let's say you plan to study 2 subjects throughout this month, are you really giving the time allotted to these subjects? Are you really able to learn these things? Are you able to remember these things? Whether effective attention is taking place? Or are you consistent with your efforts in giving the desired time to this particular subject? Routine is always going to bring in higher efficiency. You might not realize the importance of having such routine or being disciplined, but there are a lot of psychological benefits associated to this as well. Let me explain it to you. When you are setting up a routine for yourself, or when you are extremely disciplined, this will be beneficial because it is going to build a positive experience for you, a positive environment around you, and also a positive mind body correlation here. You will also be able to engage in better emotional regulation. You will also be finding that you are able to heal quickly if there is anything which is impacting you because of your environment, because of your emotions, or because of any interpersonal conflicts. So, this keeps you motivated and it also gives you strength to fight. It helps you in prioritizing what is most important for you. The detailed timetable and the dedicated efforts which you are going to put in here actually will be helping you in inculcating strong discipline. You should not forget that strong discipline breeds success. It is not just going to ensure your success, but it is also going to build strong intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is the motivation which comes from within, and you are not looking forward to others to give you that extra support, or you're not dependent on somebody else to engage in the basic tasks or day-to-day activities. So, having a routine, having yourself in a disciplined manner is going to help you build a strong intrinsic motivation, which is going to keep you motivated and very much focused on your goal with lesser external support. Thus, it truly makes you a self sufficient and sincere aspirant with maximum chances of qualifying this exam. Therefore, you should ensure your very best that you are very consistent, and this consistency will for sure bring in a good discipline. Disciplined aspirants have better chances of qualifying this exam in comparison to students who are not disciplined at all, because the consistency which this exam requires will only come when you set up a routine and you are following it diligently. Let's move on to our next strategy. This is one of the most amazing psychological hacks. A lot of people use it. It is used widely in a lot of professions too. Let me just give you some hint and see whether you are able to guess it or not. Herein, if I ask you to smile, even if you're not feeling happy, just smile. Look at yourself smiling. Feel yourself smiling. There's a very high possibility that you will end up feeling happy. Do you know what this mechanism is called? Any guesses? You can pause, think for a few seconds, and then check. I will take it forward and explain it to you. This is called facial feedback. When you smile, in times when it is difficult for you, when you are not really feeling happy, but you're constantly smiling, it sends a positive message to your brain. It sends the message that you're happy, you're showing immense strength. We call it facial feedback, as here our facial expressions are used to send signals to the brain, which is going to tell the brain that we are feeling good, we are feeling fine, and therefore the brain is going to ensure that those positive emotions are activated for you. So this is a concept given by Charles Darwin. He has worked on it, and of course, after that, a lot of psychologists and researchers have worked on it. We call it a hypothesis because we cannot be extremely sure that it is going to work in every possible situation, And of course, there is a trick to it. You will have to understand. I'll explain I'll let you know as I go ahead in the video. Now, with the facial feedback hypothesis, you will see that definitely if you smile, you will feel happy. But it just doesn't work for the happy aspect. It works for other emotions too. So if you smile, you'll feel happy. If you are showing furious expressions, you might end up feeling angry, irritated. And if you are trying to be, very showing just kind of expressions when you are very low, or there is nothing in life, no energy, you might end up feeling very sad about that as well. As your facial expressions do have the ability to convince your brain to make you actually feel the similar emotions. So do understand that it works for all kind of emotions. Now, herein, what is most important for you, what feedback you have to take. Remember that when you are in difficult times or when you are feeling low, the times which are affecting your preparation but you cannot afford to see the same, you have to either go in front of a mirror or open your camera and just smile. Smile, look at yourself, and keep telling yourself in your mind that you are doing fine. You are happy, and eventually you will start feeling happy. Please understand that it is just a hack for temporary relief to ensure focus on the task. It won't serve the purpose if you start over relying on this. What does that mean? If it is impacting your study time, if it is impacting you in your study time, understand that herein you can take a small break, just rejuvenate yourself by smiling and sending those positive signals to your brain. Now, when you eventually start feeling happy, you will be able to stay focused on your task, you will be able to study better, and this is also going to boost your memory connections. What happens with memory connections in a positive mood when you are trying to remember the information? The retention is going to be higher, and in a similar mood, when you are trying to recall it, it will become very, very easy for you. We call it mood dependent memory. So, your memories are also dependent on your mood. So, if you are in a negative emotion, if you're feeling a negative emotion and experiencing negative mood, then you will find it very difficult to retrieve the information which was stored in that mood if you are not sad. And anyway, we shouldn't be feeling sad. So it's much better that you are storing information or encoding or studying when you are in a decent mood, if not extremely elated. Normal moods, happy moods are all good moods for you to secure information, gather information, and remember that information for longer duration. So use it as a technique for yourself, not just to learn better, but also to keep yourself, in good emotional state. Remember that facial feedback for you is simply the act of smiling, which is going to produce a happy feeling. Definitely, it holds true for other emotions as well, but you are going to trick yourself to feel good and focus on your studies. You can also relate with the example of actors or theater artists. You might have seen that they practice using facial feedback to get into the skin of the character, to portray authentic, emotionally driven characters. That's the same thing you have to do. Next time, whenever you are feeling low, just go in front of the mirror or just simply, sit wherever you're sitting. Start smiling, start telling yourself how happy, how joyous you're feeling, and you will see in some time you will be feeling really, really good about yourself. Kindly do understand that this is only a hack and do not use it all the time, because sometimes when you are escaping from your real emotions, it backfires. It will not help you, but rather in long run it will cause more issues. That's all for this video. I'll connect with you all in the more upcoming videos and share more good hacks, psychological hacks, memory hacks, and of course the ways in which you can boost your UPSC CSE preparation. If there's any topic which you want me to talk on, please ensure that you leave a comment. That's all, everyone. Thank you so much. Stay good, take better care of yourself. Thank you.